Let's bring in the panel. Former Liberal MP, soon to be back in power if she can get there, Nicolle Flint, and Pauline Hanson's Chief of Staff, James Ashby. Well, Nicolle, you're certainly the woman of the hour today. A big call, the tight marginal seat. Why the heck do you want to have another go again?
Well, Peter, there are a few reasons. First of all, I had a major health breakthrough in December. I've finally found medication that has my endometriosis under control. So honestly, I feel like I've got a second chance at life, which is a pretty remarkable thing to be able to say and to be able to feel. Secondly, I am just so concerned for Australians under this Albanese Labor government. People are not better off. My community in Boothby, my wonderful community, are all suffering cost of living pressures, whether it's households, families, and particularly our amazing small businesses, and we have to get things back on track for them. And I truly believe that Peta Dutton is the person to do that. You know, Peta Dutton is the one person who will keep Australians safe at every level, and we've had an absolutely shocking week this week, Peter. Peta Dutton is the person to help fix this mess and also help fix the economic mess that the Labor government have made of our beautiful country.
Look, I know you put a brave face on it, but your endometriosis crippled you for many years, and it's something a lot of Australian women suffer, so I'm really pleased to hear that good news. And I know you'll fight hard in the campaign. We'll talk to you about issues in South Australia from here on in, as well as many other things. But let's go up to Queensland, if I can, with you, James. Your Premier up there has pledged to cut everyone's power bill by $1,000 ahead of the October election. I mean, I reckon this is an absolute blatant vote buy. This money's not means tested. It's doing absolutely nothing about getting the prices down. It's a subsidy to taxpayers, paid for by taxpayers, meaning it's nothing more than a money go round, isn't it?
Yeah, the Premier is acting more like a sugar daddy, but most Queenslanders are no cheap date, and we won't accept the fact that this isn't means tested. Look, the problem we've got here in Queensland, Peter, is there's only 3 sitting weeks left between now and the October 26 election here in Queensland. So there's not a great deal that this Premier, Steven Miles, and the Labor Party can actually do to effect change on the floor of Parliament. So what they're doing is they're going out and buying your vote. And I hope the Queenslanders aren't silly enough to just lap this up. There's a reason why we've got high electricity prices in this state. Just weeks ago, the Labor Party, supported by the Liberal National Party, helped support the Net Zero program. And they've put into legislation now a target to reduce carbon emissions by 75% by 2035. These are the issues. That's what's driving electricity prices up in this state. Forget your handouts. Get rid of net zero. We'll be in a whole lot better economic position if we do that.
You're not wrong, but I also reckon you're a bit cheeky to stand there beside a pool with your short sleeves on. I've got my Ugg boots out down here in Melbourne. I tell you, it's cold. Queensland looks good. Nicolle, reports today, a number of school students are being enrolled as non-binary, so neither male or female. Certainly they are male or female, but they're not identifying as either male or female. Well, those numbers have skyrocketed since the pandemic. Last year, it was around 2,500 kids enrolling as non-binary. Compare that to 2019, and it was 128. Now, teachers are also being told, don't refer to boys as boys or girls as girls. Drop that nomenclature altogether. An example, the Tasmanian Department for Education, it's got instructions out to teachers that says, whenever possible, use gender-neutral language and terms that recognise gender equity. Try student or child instead of boy or girl. What do you make of this?
Peter, these are such a significant increase in numbers. I really think we need to have a very careful and respectful inquiry as to why and what is driving this change with young people. You know, we've just seen the CAS review come out of the UK, which has raised a range of really important questions that need to be asked and answered here in Australia, because ultimately we need to be looking out for these young people and making sure that they're keeping themselves safe. And particularly for young women, and you've just mentioned my battle with endometriosis, you can't deny your biological reality. And it is absolutely crucial that we make sure that young women in particular are educated about what their bodies do and how they do it and what's normal and what isn't. And if kids are identifying as non-binary, are we even able to do that with them? You know, we need to have a careful, respectful inquiry into why this is happening and what we can do to support these young people.